What's up guys, it's Veekanine and welcome back to another discussion video. E3 is fast approaching and I am excited to talk about all things Nintendo, all things games, all things Switch. So for today's video, it's gonna kind of be a more fun, upbeat, somewhat unrealistic version of my previous video. My previous video, if you haven't watched it already, I gave a quick little list of some hard predictions that I definitely think will be at E3. This video is gonna be slightly different. What I'm gonna be talking about here is my wish list. Games and announcements that I wish and hope could be at E3, but I'm definitely not making big claims on them. With E3 2021 coming very close, it starts on June 12th. Nintendo is expected to go really big, and you know, there's some announcements that I definitely think could be possible. There's definitely some announcements that I think could be a big surprise, but nonetheless, I'm sure we'll get some great announcements. But I'm rambling. I'm gonna get into my wish list. These are things that I hope to see. I do not expect everything here to be correct. I'm just simply here making a fun video. And I also have looked at some leaks and rumors by some credible people on Twitter. Obviously not experts, don't work at the company, but they have a good track record. So some of these things are going off of what they're saying. The first thing I'm hoping to see at Nintendo's E3 is a Smash Bros character reveal. I touched on this previously in my recent video, however, I'm gonna kind of elaborate a bit further. So definitely a Smash Bros character reveal makes the most sense. I in fact think it might be the very first Nintendo related announcement we see at E3 because Smash Bros character announcements are just that hype. Now as for who I think the character is, I mentioned it in the previous video, I'm gonna mention it again, Crash Bandicoot. I think it makes the most sense. People have been talking about it, it's been leaked, and hell, there have even been leaks that the voice actors of Crash Bandicoot have hinted that they are working with Nintendo to potentially be voicing lines for Crash's moves when he's fighting and getting damaged, all that stuff. So nothing confirmed, but it really does look like it's gonna happen, and I think it makes sense. It's about time, no pun intended, for Crash to show up in Smash. However, that's not it. What if Sakurai has something else planned? In addition to Crash, or whoever that fighter is, there's another fighter that's going to be revealed. Something surprising, something shocking, something that we have not anticipated. Who knows what it is, but I definitely think the possibility for 2 Smash characters to be revealed at this year's E3 is something that is realistic. It's a hype event, it's a hype time. Let's go all out on Smash, Nintendo. The next thing that I hope to see at E3 is something that kind of hits closer to me because I actually play this game. Sorry Smash fans, I don't really play Smash, but Animal Crossing New Horizons. I think we're gonna get a big update this summer, and here's why. Animal Crossing has obviously already been out for a year. It's in its second year. Personally, I think the second year is Animal Crossing's last year to really be high and up there. After that, it's gonna kind of start drifting, kind of gonna start dying down. So if I'm at Nintendo, I'm thinking, we need to do something big with Animal Crossing. We gotta get the hype up there, we gotta get more units to be sold, and we gotta make the fan base happy. So here's what I think, a big summer update. Obviously Animal Crossing appeals to all ages, but more importantly, one segment is children. Students in middle school, high school, university, you name it. A lot of youth love this game, it's definitely appealing. And summer is when they're off from school. Students are off from high school, students are off from university. You know, you write your final exams and boom, it's summer break. You have time to play Animal Crossing, and that's why I think a big summer update is going to be coming. I know I keep saying big summer update and not talking about it. Here are 2 things that I think could happen. The first thing I think could be in the summer update is Brewster, the coffee shop. Remember that? Personally, I only know Brewster from Animal Crossing New Leaf because that's the only Animal Crossing I've played, Animal Crossing New Leaf, and now New Horizons. But I definitely thought the coffee shop was a really cool mechanic. You would go in there, Brewster would kind of talk to you, and you'd kind of work a shift making the coffee orders for your villagers. I don't know if that same mechanic's going to return, but definitely Brewster is wanted in Animal Crossing, whether it be a segment in the museum that you would just walk into, or a proper building. I think Brewster definitely deserves to come to the game. People have been asking for it for the longest time, and it just makes sense. The other route I think that this update could go is Tour Timer Island. Remember that from Animal Crossing New Leaf? I thought it was really cool, and I definitely think it's needed in the game. Remember Cap'n? The guy you would pay a couple thousand bells for him to take you on a trip with his boat all the way to Tortimer Island, and on that island, it's beautiful, it's tropical, it's always summer, and it's also the place where you would grind to catch rare bugs to take them back to your island and sell. Now, I don't know if that same mechanic is going to show up. I kind of hope it does, because who doesn't want another bell making method? But another thing with Tortimer Island was that it had these little things with mini games. You could go there with your friends and do little island tours, play little games, little mazes, scavenger hunts, all sorts of mini games. I definitely think that could return in New Horizons and make playing with friends that much more special. Because let's be real, of course your islands look great and it's nice to show it off to your friends, but other than that, there's not much else to do with your friends. Catch bugs, show off islands, there's got to be a bit more. Tortimer Island would be a great addition to really enhance the multiplayer experience of Animal Crossing New Horizons. This next hope is a pretty quick one because I don't really know too much about this franchise, but Kirby. I've seen some rumors, I've seen some talks that have discussed the possibility of a brand new 3D Kirby game. Kirby has always been a 2D platformer. However, there was that game on 3DS, Kirby's Blowout Blast, that somewhat tried to make a 3D environment work, but of course, it wasn't the true 3D that we all anticipate. 3D Kirby would make sense because it's a great franchise, it's a good time for Nintendo to really come in heavy hitting with Kirby, and in fact, I've also heard that the plans for Kirby by people that work at Nintendo are for the next installment to be something big, a huge shift for the franchise that really puts Kirby on the map. And a 3D Kirby would make a lot of sense to do this. I personally haven't played a Kirby game ever, but if a 3D Kirby game does come out, I would definitely consider it. Alright, the next piece of news. A franchise I'm not personally familiar with, but I know is a big deal. Metroid. Are we gonna see Metroid Prime 4 news? We've seen that teaser trailer absolutely ages ago. Are we finally gonna get some more info? Come on, Nintendo. You've literally just showed it off, said the title, given confirmation that it's in the works, but after that, absolute silence. Nothing. No screenshots, no info, no updates on how progress is going, nothing. Show this off at E3. However, another thing that I've also been following, people have been saying that a new 2D Metroid game could also be revealed at E3. Not just revealed to say that it's in development, the game itself is basically done, just waiting to be announced, marketed, and released to the public. 2D Metroid would be definitely something to kind of hold the fans in while Metroid Prime 4 takes its time. I definitely don't think Metroid Prime 4 is coming imminently, but you know, obviously some news on that front and giving a new 2D Metroid for fans to enjoy while they wait would definitely be something good for all you Metroid fans. Maybe I'll get into that franchise as well. Alright, next thing. I kind of touched on this briefly in my hard predictions video, but I'm going to talk about it a bit more here. That new Donkey Kong game. The Mario Odyssey team, the team that developed Super Mario Odyssey for the Nintendo Switch, that amazing game, that amazing installment, have been working on Donkey Kong, some kind of Donkey Kong game, and I definitely think, hard predicting, that we will see this at E3. However, there is some key controversy as to how exactly the game is, and what I mean by that is it a 2D platformer, or is it 3D? Does it take the likes of Donkey Kong Country, or does it look more like Donkey Kong 64? Lots of people don't know. Some sources out there have said that they have been told it's 3D, some sources have been told that it's 2D. There's no telling. However, some sources have said that the developers are claiming that this won't be the exact Country experience. It's not a new installment to the Donkey Kong Country franchise. It's something different. So that really intrigues me. No matter what this game is, it's gonna be good. However, I personally do hope it is 3D. A 3D Donkey Kong adventure. Maybe play that with your friend. Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, Cranky Kong, all the Kongs. It's gonna be amazing. So yeah, I definitely hope it's 3D. Obviously, if the Odyssey team's working on it, we know they're capable of doing some pretty great things, and I just hope they can deliver. As for what the game's called, I briefly mentioned this in my last video, but I've seen the name Donkey Kong World floating around. I don't know if that's set in stone or not, but hey, sounds like a cool title, but whatever they give, if it's a 3D Donkey Kong, which is what I'm hoping it is, I think it will be great. Alright, moving on to some Pokemon news. we recently just got some confirmation about the release dates about Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and Pokemon Legends Arceus. So what am I hoping from Pokemon at this Direct? Well, there's obviously some little announcements, such as Pokemon Unite, if you guys remember that. And who knows, maybe some other merchandise stuff happening to celebrate Pokemon's anniversary. However, I definitely think the Diamond Pearl remakes and Pokemon Legends Arceus could have a bit more screen time. Maybe some trailers showing off some new features, who knows. But another thing that I think would be an absolute wildcard, an absolute shocker, would be a new mainline Pokemon game. Now what do I mean by this? Obviously we had Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, and then we had the popular Sword and Shield. Now, I don't think it's too far-fetched to think that a new mainline Pokemon game could come to the Nintendo Switch. I mean, let's look at the DS. We had Black and White and Diamond Pearl both on the same system. I don't see why we can't go Sword and Shield and something else. Or Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee and something else. So what am I getting at? Perhaps we can see a new Pokemon game. That could just be the next installment following one of either Sword and Shield or Let's Go. The Let's Go mechanics, obviously, you would have the Joy-Con, you would throw it, the environment and catching Pokemon looks like Pokemon Go. Maybe we can see the next installment of that, or the next installment of our Pokemon that we classically know and adore. This is a wild card, but it would make sense. It is Pokemon's anniversary after all. A new game? That would definitely make the fans very, very happy. Alright, next thing. Mario time? Is Mario gonna be at E3? I don't know. I did not say that it was a hard prediction in my predictions video because I just don't know. Obviously this year we've had Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury and Mario Golf Super Rush. Other than that, there's nothing else, and to be honest, I'm not too sure. However, I do think there are some possibilities that could make sense. The biggest one is Mario Party, specifically Super Mario Party 2, the next installment of Mario Party on the Nintendo Switch. It makes sense time frame wise. It is time for the next installment to release on the Switch. I mean, look at the GameCube. Mario Party 4, 5, 6, and 7 on that. The Wii had 8 and 9. It just makes sense that the Nintendo Switch has another Mario Party. For sure it's going to happen in the future, but I don't see why it can't be announced now. Also, a key thing to remember is that Super Mario Party, the current game on Switch, received an online update, a way to play party mode online. That is a huge shift for the franchise. And me personally, here's what I think. I think that online update was a way for Nintendo to kind of dip their toe and test online play in Mario Party. Of course, we know there's some lag and connectivity issues, but maybe they didn't go so hard on developing that. They just want to put something that they know works and suffices before moving on to developing that as a full-blown feature in Super Mario Party 2. In other words, I think the online update for Super Mario Party was more of a test run, a trial, but Super Mario Party 2 will have that working, fully fledged out, fully efficient, fully fun, play Mario Party online with your friends, and I definitely hope that Super Mario Party 2 can deliver and be a much better successor than Super Mario Party, because me personally, the boards are kind of lacking. The character roster is great, but the boards need to feel more extravagant than they are. Another Mario game that's highly anticipated that I'm going to talk about is Super Mario Odyssey 2. Sorry Odyssey fans, but I don't think Super Mario Odyssey 2 is going to be at this E3. I do think it's in development and they are working on it, but I don't think we're going to see any of that here at E3. I don't think that's something we get news on until either Holiday Direct or 2022. It's a big deal project and we already know the Odyssey team is working on Donkey Kong. I just don't think it's realistic to go in expecting that or hoping for it. Definitely gonna come in the future, but maybe just sit tight on that for a while. However, I will say this new surprise announcement. I haven't seen anyone talk about this. This is something I've thought of, but new Super Mario Bros. The 2D platformer. Remember that game? Everyone knows that game. You've had it on all your Nintendo consoles before. There was new Super Mario Bros. On DS. There was new Super Mario Bros. On Wii. There was new Super Mario Bros. 2 on 3DS. And there was new Super Mario Bros. U. Now I know what you're thinking, but they had new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe on the Switch. Read that title again. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. It was just a ported, upscaled, newer version of the Wii U's Mario platformer. It wasn't something brand new. They just brought that to the Switch for the sake of having a 2D Mario adventure, a 2D platformer Mario adventure on the Switch. So what am I getting at here? My point is, the Nintendo Switch has not gotten its own Mario 2D platformer. So what if this is the time? I don't know what it would be called. New Super Mario Bros. Switch? New Super Mario Bros. 3? I don't know, but I definitely think the Switch needs its own Mario adventure. A whole new 8 worlds, you know, a new Bowser storyline. He kidnaps Princess Peach and there's boss battles and all that. Maybe a new character roster, new power-ups, returning power-ups that we maybe haven't seen in a while. I don't know. And another thing that people could be thinking about. But what about Super Mario Maker 2? Super Mario Maker 2 is great and all. You can make your own levels, but I don't consider that a mainline Mario game. I think Nintendo should really get behind the wheel, create their own Mario levels, and create a brand new Mario adventure exclusively on the Switch. We need a 2D Mario platformer that we can say was the Switch's 2D Mario platformer. Alright, moving on to the next thing. The Legend of Zelda. It's Zelda's 35th anniversary, and what do I think are the key things that will happen? Well, I've got two. It's Zelda's 35th. Obviously, lots of people are hyped about that. And looking back at how they did Mario's 35th anniversary, I think they'll do something very similar. Merchandise, board games, clothing, all sorts of partnerships. However, this time with Zelda, I definitely think that can be a thing. You know, new stuff to release to the public, and you know, Zelda fans would appreciate that. However, the more pressing piece of news would be that Triforce collection. However, I don't know what games would be in that Triforce collection. Obviously 3 of them, similar to Super Mario 3D All-Stars, but you know, it could be Twilight Princess, it could be Ocarina of Time, it could be Majora's Mask, it could be Wind Waker. I don't know what games they're gonna put on. Personally, I hope they put Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, and that third one, do whichever one you think will work. But yeah, a Triforce collection, I definitely think, I was hard predicting it, it should happen. I really do hope it happens. I've just gotten into Zelda with Breath of the Wild and, you know, taking a look at some of the older games, but now upscaled and looking as beautiful as ever on the Nintendo Switch would be really cool. And now a big announcement. I touched on this in my previous video as well. However, this is going to be a big announcement. The crowd's going to go wild at E3 with this one. But some news on the Breath of the Wild sequel. Of course, we know it's in development and we know they weren't ready to talk about it yet. I am referring to the previous Nintendo Direct in February where the director said, "Can't talk about it yet, but we will be talking about it in the future. Definitely at E3, I expect to see it, and I hope to see it. Breath of the Wild is a great game. I love playing it. I actually haven't beaten it yet. I'm just kind of taking my time with it, going through all the shrines, but I am having a blast playing that game. And to get some news on Breath of the Wild 2, or the sequel, whatever it's called, would be cool. Maybe some trailers, maybe some info on the storyline, and, you know, showing that vast open world experience again, because when that released on the Switch, it was absolutely breathtaking. No pun intended. But yeah, I definitely think Nintendo should show off the sequel to Breath of the Wild. You know, you don't have to give a hard release date or anything like that. It would be cool if you did say holiday 2021. However, you know, just give us something. It would be very cool to see. And seemingly, that would be the end of Nintendo's E3 announcements. You know, it was a great weekend. June 12th it started, and then it's coming to a close. And yeah, great for Nintendo. But wait, there's a but wait, guys. Nintendo has one last announcement. It's probably gonna be like close to the end of E3, maybe the last day of E3, but Nintendo might have some big news to share. If you've been following rumors, you might know what I'm getting to. However, there have been hard rumors, hard discussions, hard expectations for Nintendo to release the Nintendo Switch Pro. The Nintendo Switch Pro would be a new revamped version of the Nintendo Switch, but what can it do this time? It can play games at 4K, just like the big boy next-gen consoles. I think this would be a great announcement. I definitely think if all goes well and, you know, the pandemic didn't screw them over, they could say it will be releasing for holiday 2021. It will be great. You will realize that your games can play in 4K. That would be amazing for the Breath of the Wild sequel. And yeah, that would just get fans hyped. It would definitely get the fan base to be excited for Christmas. And if you have not had a Nintendo Switch, this is the time to really think about asking for it for Christmas. However, guys, that's not it. They're not just going to release the Nintendo Switch Pro. If you're going to release a brand new console, you're going to want the console to sell well. What do you need for a console to sell well? A really, really big game. For Nintendo, currently, to this day, as I'm recording this, the best game, the game that has sold the most on the Nintendo Switch, is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It's a great game, it's fun, it's a classic franchise, Mario Kart, everyone loves it, it's great for the family, it's great for online, it's a great game. What do I think is going to happen? The game to release alongside the Switch Pro as a launch title is none other than Mario Kart 9. It's going to look insane, it's going to be amazing, it's going to be the first Mario Kart to run at 4K. And don't worry to all the Nintendo Switch fans, mainline games such as Mario Kart 9 and Breath of the Wild 2 won't be Nintendo Switch Pro exclusive. You can play them on your Switch, however, they will look insanely good and beautiful on Switch Pro if you choose to get it. But yeah, I definitely think Mario Kart 9 could be that last heavy hitter announcement. The crowd goes wild, it's insane, people have wanted it for a while. If you're gonna do the Switch Pro, you have to put Mario Kart 9 alongside it. It just makes the most sense. And that's it. All of Nintendo's announcements at E3. Obviously, I said this was my wish list, this was my hopes. I don't expect many of these, to be honest with you. However, there is some hope to believe that some of the things I have mentioned here could be feasible in showing up at E3. Obviously not everything, but you know, we'll just have to wait and see. The key thing to note is that I'm not Nintendo. I don't work at the company. I don't have my inside sources, and with all these leaks and all these rumors going out there, they are not official, they are not confirmed. If you want to see legit news to get totally hyped up for, you're gonna have to see that news from Nintendo themselves. And that will be at E3. It's so close, it's about a week away. I'm excited. I hope you all are too. But what did you guys think of my wish list for Nintendo's E3? Do you think I missed anything? Do you agree with some of the things I've said? Let me know down in the comments below. But that's gonna wrap things up for this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like on it, subscribe if you're new, and hit the bell for notifications. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.